Hello everybody, I hope you're all well and surviving the various issues we're suffering from at the moment, coronavirus, flooding, Brexit, whatever, and that you're managing to spend a bit of time thinking about your assessment. I've had various questions and queries coming in via email and phone and what have you, so I thought it might be worth just putting a video out that you can all have a look at. There seems to be possibly some confusion around how you use the video in this presentation. So really the video, what you're being encouraged to do is take a video of the coach that you're observing. You use that video largely to then code the behaviour and prepare your presentation. The presentation itself doesn't have to use the video, although I think it's a good idea to perhaps show some really short clips. Okay, so I've been asked by some people, how long should the video be? It might be that you show 2 or 3 10-second clips maximum just to underpin the point that you're making. So primarily the video is there to help you with your coding, and then if you want to use some sections from the video in the presentation to support what you're saying, I think that's a good idea. The brief talks about using a number of artifacts. Video clips would be an artifact. A way of presenting the results from your coding is another artifact. So that's what we're talking about there. So it may be that, for example, your coach scores quite highly on inspirational motivation, but doesn't have that many occasions where you're ticking the boxes for intellectual stimulation, as an example. You might talk about that in your presentation and show us a clip of the coach operating in a way that got a tick for inspirational motivation, and perhaps showing us a clip where they're not perhaps sharing the decision-making process with the athletes that would have got them a tick for intellectual stimulation, and discussing whether that was appropriate or not. That's where your interpretation comes in. That's possibly an area that you might work with that coach if you're trying to develop their performance, or you might make your interpretation and say, this was really appropriate given the context. You might bring in the literature there to support that observation. Okay, perhaps the coach has been directive as opposed to participative. The literature talks about the fact that can still be transformational. So there's lots of different ways you could take things, but in terms of how you use the video, that seems to be a bit of a bone of contention. So please don't feel that you have to show us 15 minutes worth of video. The video is there just in short sections to support what you're saying.